Good.
Let me get a picture though.
All right, go on.
Oh!
Big, but that was a bite. Oh, God. That's not a bite.
That's where you need a camera boat on you, don't you? Seeing something like that.
Jesus. Thanks, Jesus. Choke that frog. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. Good hooks I put in here. Got him too. See, that's not working. It didn't have no power poles on. Uh-oh. It's a swirl behind.
Gosh, good one. That's a good one.
Oh, my green juice, Lord. Come on, Jesus. Yes. Woo! Thank you, Lord. Oh. That was pretty right there. Ooh. Got your picture. Gets me in there now. Thank you, Jesus, for answering that request. Easy for God. Easy for God. He can do anything quickly, man. Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Yes. Hey, shield it, son. Thank you, Lord. Woo! Praise the Lord. Yeah, man. Man, what a bite. Good God, you see that?
Gosh, good fish. Come on, Jesus. Come on.
Gosh, yes. Choked it, son. That was awesome. I wish you could have seen that. He choked it too. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Big old head. Hey guys, Randy Howell here for another wrap up, and it's about time that I got back on a good streak. And we did that at Toledo Bend by breaking the streak and getting 11th place. And then we go on down to Ross Barnett. Now we just got back from there yesterday and had a good run at getting in the top 12 cut again. I really should have done it. I didn't make the right adjustments on that last day, but I'll tell you more about it. We had a great time over there. That's a nice lake. People have said for years that's a really tough place and a hard place to catch fish, but I think it gets a bum rap. I really think it's a better lake than people say it is. And we had a good bunch of fish that had already spawned. Majority of them had spawned, but we had the worst weather week. The wind blew so bad, it was ridiculous how bad the wind blew. I mean, like 20 to 30 and gusting to 40 the last 3 days of the tournament. And it was just hard to fish anything other than the river, you know, or somewhere getting way back in an area. So I think 75 or 80 boats out of 100 were up that river, so it was really people all over top of each other everywhere. And it was really a mentally tough tournament. You had to be focused on what you're doing and do your own thing and not get too distracted or too worried about everybody around you. And that's kind of what I was doing. I was in 19th going into the 50 cut day, and then on the 50 cut day I was hoping to move into the 12 cut. Would have been real easy to do. I didn't need 15 pounds, and I didn't catch a limit that day. I had a couple good ones, but we had a lot of rain, a lot of storms. Everything happened early in the week, and the mud started to flow, and the bite was really good until the mud got bad. And as the mud got worse, I didn't make the right adjustments. But what I had going on in practice, I was catching them really 3 different ways. I had well, let me say first the crankbait pattern. The crankbait pattern was really a good little pattern, and I thought I had about 3 places that I could catch them on this particular crankbait, and this is my Howler Plus, which I still love to throw that one more than any other one out of all of them. And the Plus model runs 8-9 feet deep. It'll really run 10 if you throw it on light line, but it's got a wide wobble. It pushes a lot of water, and this color is it's the old Bandit color. Remember that Bandit color? That's a splatter back, black back, white with that yellow belly, and I use that in dirty water a lot, especially dirty water. I don't use chartreuse a lot in dirty water when they're shad. When it's a shad spawn and shad bite going on, there's a lot of shad in the river. This pattern right here was working good. I was cranking out on my 7-foot Daiwa medium light, the Randy Howell Signature Series. That rod's available now, so check it out. Man, these rods are designed by all of us on the Daiwa team, and my particular models: 7-foot medium light, 7.4 medium heavy, 7'1" power spinning rod, and a 7'3" shaky head drop shot spinning rod and an underspin rod. So this particular one though, throwing it on 12-pound gamma fluorocarbon Tatula SV, the finesse spinning bait cast reel. We call it finesse, but we're using it for everything. It's got the easy anti-backlash spool. So that's my pattern there. Well, that pattern started out first day pretty good, and then the mud started flowing, and it ruined that crankbait bite for me. And I know it was a lot of other guys that were cranking on the river, and I saw that all fell apart for everybody. And the second part of the pattern that I was doing, I was catching bigger fish on, was the frog. And I love fishing a frog, and this was the Ishman Rose frog rod. I talked a lot about that week. The Ishman Rose frog rod has the AGS guides on it. Take these rod gloves off. The 7.4 extra heavy, super light with these AGS guides, which are really light, 50% lighter composite guides. And I was fishing that frog on 70-pound braid, Daiwa Samurai braid, same reel, but at the 8.1 retrieve to get the bite, and you set the hook. They were up there in 6 to 10 inches of water, so when they'd explode on the frog, they would come out of there like a lightning bolt. And if you don't have a fast reel, that's why it's really important. I talk about it a lot, and of course I'm plugging my sponsors because I appreciate them, but I'm also telling you the way to catch fish and be the most efficient, because that's how we get paid, is being efficient at what we do. And this reel will help you be efficient. 8.1 retrieve, and it has torque. It doesn't back up when you set the hook on something and wind that you can get it out of there. So real important. Just using a popping frog. That's the kind of like a sexy shad, nasty shad colored popping frog is what I was throwing. Another frog I threw a little bit, which I wasn't ready for the tournament yet, is this Livingston frog, and I wanted to fish it so bad, but this is a prototype, wasn't painted. I even took my attempt at taking the white frog that had all the blue marker writing on it, the weights and stuff, and colored over it with a black Sharpie, trying to make a black frog out of it. It looked pretty nasty, but this frog has EBS electronic frog sound in it. So right in the head of this frog, there's a capsule you can't see right here, and it's a hard frog head right here. That capsule has a frog sound. It says and you can hear it, and it's a real sound. Sounds better than I just sounded right there. But you can throw this frog a mile, and it's going to be really good for big mats like Gunnersville, Chickamauga, Tennessee River. Hopefully I'll have a few at Rayburn by then to fish with. This hook was a little bit light on the first model. It'll bend if you catch big fish and pull hard on them. So the new prototype, we've got a thicker hook in it, and it's dead on the money. So it's being made. The mold's being made right now, but that's going to be the deal right there for frog fishing. So frog, I was just fishing that in the little cracks, making really specific cast, trying to get it into little hard to get to spots, because the fish were so pressured they were backing up inside the grass, in little pockets in the grass, and as the water got muddy, they started getting more pushed back, trying to stay in clean water. And watching the live Monday, Super Monday deal today. The guys that won, that fished on Monday. Congratulations to my buddy down in South Alabama, or down below Birmingham. I've been watching Dustin Cannell grow up down there for a while. He's been a good name in that area as a teenager, and he's a real deal, man. My hat's off to him. I watched him fish around me a good bit this week, and I could tell he was really intense. He was on something good, and he figured out how to catch them a lot better than me and everybody else in the same area, and that's what's impressive about it. The fish were not scared of that muddy water, and he kept catching them in the muddy water. And a lot of guys like me were trying to find clean water, and it really didn't matter. The frog bite, it mattered, but the flipping bite, it didn't matter, and he stayed after it, and he made it happen. So anyway, I was around a lot of fish that I didn't catch, but that's always the part of making adjustments. Another pattern that was going on was the jerkbait pattern. In that dirty river, you wouldn't think that would work, but I should have gotten into this more. This was a really good pattern. Jonathan Van Dam and Kevin Van Dam finished second and third, I believe. They did great, and they were jerkbaiting, and I didn't even realize it until I watched the show, watched the live today, and I found that out, and I thought I was the only one throwing the jerkbait around in some of those little pockets, because the shad were in there. The fish were busting on the shad in practice, and I was throwing a jerkbait out there, but I just didn't explore it enough. I caught little fish. Every time I'd do it, I'd catch a little, 10 to 12 inchers, and every once in a while you catch a 14, 15 incher, but I never caught a quality fish, and I didn't explore it and stick with it long enough, and that was my mistake. And I learned something again by seeing those guys that stuck with it, and they caught good fish doing it, throwing it in the clear water over top of the grass in the deep holes in those ponds, and that was a big deal. That hadn't been done a whole lot, so they did a good job on that. But same deal, jerkbait, that's the same Livingston 121C Hank Cherry design jerkbait. Caught them at Toledo Bend, same color that I've used every time. It's a good stained water color, and it worked great. So that's the three patterns that I was sticking with. Majority of the fish weighed in were on the frog. I caught a few flipping my flapping hog too, and I might still have it. Yeah, I still got it rigged up right in here. And this is the thing. I did catch a few. You'll see in the video probably a few of the fish I caught on the black and red flake flapping hog right there on the Ishman Row frog rod. I used the frog rod for flipping and pitching too, although we got a 7.6 pitching and flipping rod. But this is the deal right here, 1/2 ounce weight. I should have flipped this more in some of the mats and the heavy cover, and I just didn't do it. I got so locked in and hard-headed on that frog pattern, I kept sticking with it, and it kind of failed me the last day with 4 fish, not weighing but 9 pounds. Anyway, that's the wrap up for there, and hopefully some of these fish catches, I hope my GoPro captured some of the bites on that frog, because man, I had a ball. The first day I caught at least a dozen keepers, had 15 pounds 7 ounces, and just a smash. It's so addicting to catch them on that frog. And then second day struggled a little bit more. Caught them, I still caught my bigger ones on the frog, ended up flipping and catching a few of them on the flapping hog and the jerkbait. But anyway, overall, got my points back up. Started out poor. The first couple of wrap-ups were sad ones, as you know, and then the Classic wasn't real great either. But we got back on the right track. 11th at Toledo Bend, 30th there. Went from 72nd into points to 29. So it's amazing. You can't get down when you don't do good. You got to stay focused. Don't get high, don't get low. Stay in the middle. Just trust God, work hard, fish hard, and the ups and downs will always level back out. So that's what we did, and we're in the right place right now, 29th, ready to start moving our way up that Angler of the Year board the rest of the season, and about to start Major League Fishing up too, so we're looking forward to that. So stay tuned. Watch us, me and Robin and the boys, on The Catch with Randy and Robin, our YouTube channel, The Catch. And we got some fun shows that are on there now and some new ones that are coming. We did some good Texas fishing, caught a lot of fish there. It'll be showing up soon, and then we're going to do some more Texas and Louisiana fishing as soon as we get a break after Bass Fest down there in Texas. So y'all stay tuned. Thanks for following us. God bless you. I'll see you at the next one.